engineer approaches to bridges and roads that will last longer, that'll be more resilient. Look, we've got to design them to be more resilient because more storms are coming, more heat waves are coming, and you can even design them in ways sometimes that are reducing the amount of carbon going into the atmosphere. So you'll definitely see more from our department and other parts of the federal government, as well as out in the private sector, in the academic sector, finding new ways to do things. There's no reason a bridge in the 2020s should be built the same way it was in the 1920s.
And today's topic is all transportation. And here at the U.S. Center, this is our pavilion at the COP26 conference. You can see that there's a talk going on behind me. And through the entire day, all those topics will be transportation. All the talks, I should say, will be about transportation. And Jim and Jordan, I have to say, Secretary Buttigieg, he said that the building material was his favorite subject to talk about. He thought it was nerdy. That's what he said, nerdy. But I thought all these different materials are so interesting.
Totally. I mean, especially when you just look at the inventions. My dad's in floor covering. You talk about all this new stuff that they're coming up with. I'm like, no way. Right. But I want to keep this transportation focused. Did you guys bring up the conversation about electric vehicles and, you know, potentially what that does to the planet, getting the lithium out of the earth, and the affordability factor? I mean, how are we going to get the price down for us?
That's a great question. And here's the good news is that Secretary Buttigieg mentioned you could get up to $12,500 in a tax credit. So that is massive if you do buy an electric vehicle. 500,000 chargers will be installed thanks to the infrastructure bill. And he's saying we're going to get to work very, very fast. And it's not only, guys, about the chargers. It's about the electricity going into these chargers and eventually into your vehicle. He talked about how that also has to be green as well.
That is so interesting that you say that, Steph, because there was an interesting article in Reuters this morning on that very thing. 1 in 5 vehicles last quarter in Europe that were sold were electric. Purchased. Okay, but they also went on to talk about how really, in terms of carbon taking away, you're only as good as your energy mix. In other words, if you've got a lot of hydro and you've got a lot of nuclear, great. You're going to do really well getting electric vehicles. But if you're still coal burning, you're going to use a lot of coal to actually, you know, charge those batteries again in the EVs.
Exactly. And so that is something that he was really hopeful about, is getting clean energy into those chargers. And then today, of course, we are talking about cities, regions, and built environment. And essentially what that means, guys, is that we want accelerated action on already built environment. So that is the thing to really accelerate. That has been a word here the entire week, is we have to do a lot. We have to do it quickly.
All right, Steph. Great stuff. Great stuff. I'm glad she's there, too. We've been learning a lot this week. Pattern, the Weather Channel, the only U.S. network, by the way, offering comprehensive coverage of the conference through this Friday.
That's right. So Pattern's exclusive gavel-to-gavel coverage is streaming now. You guys can find it Tubi, Plex, Local Now. Make sure to tune in and check out what's going on. Or you can, of course, stick with us in the morning show, and we'll get you caught up with Steph in the mornings.
So while all that's going on, we're thinking about the weekend. And Felicia Combs can let us know what's going on in 10 seconds.
Yeah, let's take a look. We've got a quick look here.